John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, rough fourth quarter against the Browns on Sunday. 1 for 5, 11 yards, and an interception that became a pick six as the Ravens blew a 14-point lead and lost to the Cleveland Browns. In each of Baltimore's 3 losses this year, they have blown a fourth quarter lead. So, you know, it kind of gets to the point you were making about Josh Allen. You see statistics. Lamar Jackson completing 70.3% of his passes. That's great. But if something is misfiring at the most important moment of a game and you've lost 3 games you could have and should have won, most recently this game against the Browns, they should have won, and you're 1 for 5 for 11 yards with an interception in the fourth quarter, that stands out.
Yeah.
It stands out.
Right.
And maybe it's a fluke or maybe it's a trend, but those are the kind of performances you don't want to see with a game on the line, because at some point, not just the game's going to be on the line, but the season's going to be on the line.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you there, right? And he's a superstar, and we look at it, and, you know, we dissect it and all of that. You know, hey, the first thing I want to say is it's the second best defense in football, and he gave them a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't hold it. So that's a little bit of a problem too. Right? Like, what the hell? But I think there's, you know, some context to the situation a little bit. Okay, they blew a fourth quarter lead early in the year to the Indianapolis Colts. It was a close game. It was a nail-biter throughout. He gave them the lead about halfway through the fourth quarter to put them up 17-6, and then the defense got a 17-16, and the defense got a safety to make it 19-16. Colts went down, kicked a late field goal to send it into overtime. All right. You know, was it his best game there? No, not necessarily. I get it. You know, but it was early in the year. Todd Monken, we know how early in the year football works. The Steelers game, they lose 17-10. Certainly wasn't because of Lamar Jackson. I mean, right? That was the comical game of nobody could catch the ball. And not like couldn't catch the ball like a 3-yard slant. Like there was like 50-yard bombs in the breadbasket, dropped. Balls in the back of the end zone, in the guy's face mask, dropped. Like multiple of that. You know, to where you look at it and go, there was probably like 5 balls that were for about 150 plus yards and maybe a touchdown or 2 at least, where they didn't deliver for Lamar Jackson, but we're all going to look at it and go, man, Lamar didn't deliver in the fourth quarter of that football game. He made some mistakes too. I get that. I'm not giving him a free pass, but that's the context of that football game. The other day, nothing was easy. You know, yeah, they had the lead. He had 13 completions for the day as is. Baltimore, I watched the film of this game yesterday. Cleveland's awesome on defense. We know that. They're unbelievable on defense. And, like, Baltimore really didn't sustain drives throughout the day. It was just a series of big plays. That's kind of what they did in that game. And they couldn't really make anything go in the second half of that football game other than the slant to Odell Beckham Jr. Now, yeah, they got to find a way to execute and stay on the field and run the ball a little bit and chew up some clock and put a team away. Certainly, I get that. But I'm certainly not sitting here like doubting Lamar Jackson's ability to win football games in the fourth quarter.
As you were recounting the fourth quarter collapses, I do have a clear recollection of Lamar's throw to the end zone to Odell Beckham Jr. that got picked off.
That was a bad one. The back shoulder.
Whether it was because it was a bad throw,
yeah, right.
or he thought it was Odell Beckham Jr. from 9 years ago, not today's.
Yeah,
Odell
we
Beckham
talked
Jr.
about that. Right.
That play.
Right.
Maybe 9 years ago. Yeah. Now, the other side of it is, and you're right, the defense has to play, and you also have to use the running game to your advantage, too. You go 1 for 5 for 11 yards in the fourth quarter. That tells me your running game is going nowhere either.
Nowhere.
Because It's not like they're throwing the ball every time they drop back. They surely had far more than 5 plays in the fourth quarter. John Harbaugh said yesterday he wants to see more from Keaton Mitchell. And what a stat line for Keaton Mitchell. He had a 39-yard touchdown run and a 32-yard catch and run in the first half. In the second half, he was only on the field for 4 snaps. What the hell is that? And Chris, listen to this stat line for his rushing.
I know.
3 attempts for 34 yards with a long of 39.
Yes, right.
So he had -5 on his other 2 carries. And how does a guy who rips off a 39-yard touchdown only get 2 other carries for the whole freaking game?
Well, that's to my point of, it was a game of, Baltimore just made like 5 or 6 big plays. That was the only thing they did on offense. They could not sustain drives, you know, and that's where, you know, again, context is Cleveland's defense is special. They remind me of the 2015 Broncos, where they can win games by themselves. They can make plays and go, we'll score some points too, offense. Don't worry. We'll win this one, and we'll help you light up the scoreboard and the process. And they're amazing that way. But, yeah, Keaton Mitchell is a weapon that they got to continue to infuse into this offense. He's special that way. But, yeah, you'd like him to be able to run the ball up 14 and some of these moments they had in the football game to chew up some clock. But at the same time, the Browns knew what was coming. They got a bunch of crazy mofos there. They had a bunch of people at the line of scrimmage, and they kind of begged and put the pressure on Baltimore, even though they didn't want to. Hey, pass, throw the ball here in this situation. They tip a ball up in the air, boom, interception, pick six. So, let's not forget it's a very special unit they're playing there. But, yeah, the fourth quarter blowing of leads, it is a little bit weird how it's the second year in a row it's come up with Baltimore. It's hard to put your finger on it totally.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.